Academies. Welcome to Swaggerized Performance Lab. I'm Mr. Smith, your advisor. Today, we'll be talking about the truth about academies. The academies, why elite academies are still failing elite athletes, and why the real reason some kids should never go to an academy. We'll start off with the 7 pros right off the top. Academies provide instant credibility with others where in the sport you're purchasing that price that you pay, it gets you instant credibility with other athletes, with people within the sport, with people who you compete with coaches, scouts, and even peers. There's a level of trust. It gets you instant credibility. It says you're being placed in the right location. You're in a place that has a reputation. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that you will perform, but that where you're training provides you some credibility. Number 2, everything is in one place. The weight rooms, film, recovery tools, nutrition, guidance, coaching staff. Everything is under one roof, removing the logistical burden that you would typically have trying to piece that together yourself. And I'll show you how, I'll talk about that, how you can actually piece that together yourself. But that is what an academy provides. It provides everything under one roof. It's systemic. You understand exactly what you need to do. There's a proven system. You're not guessing or building from scratch. You're following a structure that has already produced results for others before you. Number 4, you have daily a high level of competition every day. You're being tested constantly against strong peers that can accelerate your development, that can accelerate you improving weaknesses, and overall having an understand of how to compete at that high level because you're seeing a solid group of peers every day. Number 5, you have structured exposure, consistent access to recruiters, scouts that most families will not have access to, or it's more difficult to replicate independently. Number 6 is built-in accountability. The daily grind creates habits and discipline that carry beyond the sport itself. And number 7, the network effects. The teammates, coaches, the alumni connections can open doors beyond the academy years. So the pros are there. You have a system, you have infrastructure, you have weight rooms. Sometimes you may even have schooling. And all of that is structured around your specific sport. Everything in one place, proven systems, whether you're a track and field athlete, a basketball athlete, a football athlete, there's systems in place for your specific position, for your specific track and field event that are put in place for you to succeed. And you're competing against a high level of competition every day. And if these academies are structured exposure where their schedules, often their schedules are shaped for certain events, whether that's a certain basketball tournaments, they have a schedule playing high profile teams, other high profile teams to where they have exposure. So your whole schedule, your system, the structure provides a level of exposure that you would have to duplicate independently. And obviously, you have accountability standards that are there. Now, here's the cons that they don't tell you. One, we know it's expensive. It could be tuition plus travel plus gear. Uh, and you have these costs that could be, a serious toll on families, regardless of the athlete's talent or regardless of where they are at that point in their athletic development. And often at these academies, there is an insular hierarchical system, meaning outside of the NCAA, outside of high school football, basketball, outside of any USTA, any UTR, any ITA, any ITF, any WTA, ATP, outside of that, outside of any volleyball organizations, you still have an insular hierarchical system within the academy that has nothing to do with the sport you're in. It's just an insular hierarchical system that you have to work through to build credibility and to build your personal brand inside of that academy yourself in order to actually prove yourself. So before you're competing outside, you're also competing inside. That can become very taxing, and sometimes you can waste time doing that, competing in these insular systems. It's a relentless culture. Number three, it's a relentless culture where the daily grind is very real because everyone is attempting to prove themselves within the academy itself. And there is a consequence, a toll on your nervous system. There's a toll on just the wear and tear that even your development. Where can you develop? Can you test things? Do you have the freedom? Do you have the actual grace to do some things differently when you're competing at this high level? Maybe you need a rest, but you don't feel like you can rest because you have to prove yourself not only every day, every moment, every drill, every session. It's socially competitive. There's no room to relax. So you're socially on at all times. The environment itself becomes performance in every way. Performative in the relationships, performative in every aspect of how you're engaging with people and the environment in the academy. And ultimately, this insular judging system that precedes the real one. So before an athlete ever reaches an objective external standard like NCAA, high school rankings, AAU, USTA, like I talked about before, there's a closed internal system that's deciding who is who gets promoted, who gets seen, who gets introduced to specific brands, who gets introduced to specific sponsors. And then obviously there's favoritism. Coach and parent relationships can shape playing time, can shape opportunity, can shape court time, can shape one-on-one time, independent of performance. And money can change all of this. Money can buy access. It can give you a level of favoritism, a level of special treatment. Not that you're completely disregarded, but you're not getting that very deep evaluation and expertise that you need to level up. And so it becomes extremely, difficult when you're in an environment that money can skip everything and put people at the top. Relationship driven outcomes. So you know who, and you know what, and you know how, but the big thing is who likes who's able to relate to who. That makes a difference, and that all plays a part in this academy dynamics. So we know people can play, we know they have ability, but then there's still the relationship driven outcomes, how relationship drives these outcomes in these environments, meaning someone has a relationship, they could be more invested, right? And it's very nuanced. It's not something that you can, pinpoint. It's not that you're being mistreated, but it's that you're not getting that detailed treatment that really makes a difference. And then additionally, this last component is these pre-made narratives, to where, because coaches have experience, they've seen a lot. Sometimes it could be they've seen it all. So when you're looking at an athlete, you're just looking at another athlete. You're putting them through the program, X's and O's, put them through the structured program, and you often can't really see the depth, and you can't see the athletes in totality, because oftentimes coaches have seen so many athletes that they think they've seen it all, and they're coaching so many people that the athletes just become commodities. They can't really find deep within them to say, okay, what is unique about this athlete that can make them great? Oftentimes, athletes are placed in a box, and there's a narrative around them, and unique athletes that are different, that may not have all of the metrics, that may not have the height, weight, the visible metrics that you see. They may be placed in boxes, and not able to develop, because the coach is not able to see them based on all the talent that they've seen before. They feel that because this one player made it because he looked like this, he had this different characteristic, or another athlete made it because they were this height, they did it this way, their forehand was this way, their backhand was this way, they moved this way, then other athletes have to sort of fit in that box that they've seen before. And that can pigeonhole athletes when they're in environments and there's a certain narrative that runs consistent in that academy. So ultimately, academies could be a hindrance for many athletes because they don't fit the mold, or they need more time to develop, or they need more of a detailed, more of an individual, a personalized, a day-to-day personalized, and not a lot of the static. Some athletes don't need a lot of the distractions or other athletes around. They work better individually. So that's really up to you, or they work better in a smaller group with not all of the narratives, all of the hierarchical systems and the favoritism and all of the power of money dynamics playing a part around them. Of course, that plays a part, but as an athlete, you have a choice to where you can eliminate that, and your practice and development can be specifically on you. In academies, there's a lot of other things going on. And yes, they can work, but there's a truth about them, which I just shared with you, that parents are never told. And this is why elite academies still fail elite athletes, because not only because they're expensive, because of the hierarchical systems, because of the relentless, always on culture, because of the socially competitive, no room to relax culture, because of the favoritism, because of the insular judging system, and because money buys access at all times when you're talking about an academy. And relationships still is a big driver within the academies, how the coaches, how the individuals, how the leaders are relating to the athletes. And some of the pre-made narratives of what you need to be, how it needs to be done at the academy. sometimes the way the academy does it doesn't fit how the athlete does it. And it's not that the athlete is resistant. We're just all very unique individuals. And this journey to athletics supremacy, to elite athletic performance is a very unique one. Each and every athlete has a different mental makeup, a different body structure. They have a different essence, a different spirit. They have different movement patterns. They have all different gifts. And within that, within the technicalities of each sport, every athlete has very minor changes in how they shoot a jumper. Yes, the elbow in, up at 90, follow through, planet foundation, but how they adjust, every athlete is something different, something slightly different in how they adjust and how they feel the game and how they perform. And so you have to be in an environment to where you can nurture your gifts in a way with the right structure, with the right technical foundation, but so not such a way that you can make it yours. You can make this journey yours. You can make your technical modalities, meaning how you shoot a shot, how you swing a golf club, how you swing a racket, the position of your backhand, your forehand. Yes, you can, 90% of that can be accurate and look the same, but each and every athlete is different. They're different in how they relate to their sport and what they do. So when you think about your athletic career and what you want to accomplish in your athletic career, you also have to think about, okay, what type of environment that it may fit. And the academy may or may not be a great fit for you. I'm Mr. Smith with Swaggerized Performance Lab. I will see you again. This is our business of helping you navigate the complexities of sport and life and ultimately reach the top of what you define. You get to define what success looks like for you. That could be the top of the food chain, champion, gold medalist, world records, professional ranks. It could be Hall of Fame. It could be 3, 4, 5 year career. It could be a professional career, and then you want to coach. You get to define that. I'll see you next time. I'm Mr. Smith on Swaggerized Performance Lab.